Hey, it's me, Mandy the Geek. So Mandy's a geek, hence the title. Um, and pardon me. I just thought, sorry about this, full of hay fever again. It's just not going away. Um, but I just thought I'd do another comic haul, showing what comics I got this week. So this is just like my regular comics what I get delivered from the seller on eBay every week. Okay, so just go through them, and then if I've read them, I'll tell you what I think of them. Okay. So the first one, it's not such a big pile this time. I think last time was a lot bigger. First one is, I think it's about 80 pence, something like that, pound, and that's the Frank Miller Ashcan. So this gives you a preview of the new Ronin book, what he's doing on it in his own company, which he set up with Dan Didio, and then Ancient Enemies, which is a new one by Dan Didio. And it gives you adverts for some other comics what they're doing. So I'll just go through, because a lot of these new titles are coming out in November. But I got this, nothing of it. I just thought, yeah, it'll just be just something to look at. But then I looked on eBay, and it's selling for about £15-20. Like I said, I paid about 80 pence a pound for it. So I thought, I'm going to flog it. Why not? I can at least get a graphic novel, a few graphic novels from it. But it's not Frank Miller doing the artwork for the new Ronin. It's who's the artist? Philip Tan and Daniel Henrique. Philip Tan's doing the pencils. Daniel Henriquez is doing the inks, and John Workman the letters. And then there's going to be another series coming out called Pandora. And that's the ideas from Frank Miller. The artist is Emma Kubert. Anthony Marinville and Chris Silvestri are the co-writers on that, so that looks more like a fantasy children's one. And then Dandio's doing one called Ancient Enemies, which is written by him, created by him, and the arts and designs by Danilo Bayroof. That's this one here. So this is virtually like a full introductory story in this one. To be honest, I didn't even bother reading this. I just got this more as a curio, but like I said, as soon as it's going for a good price, I'll flog it, and get my money back and get extra back. And so there's going to be a new Sin City series coming out with artwork by Milo Monaro, classic European comic artist, and then there's going to be another Sin City one, but a western, which is going to be drawn by Frank himself. Sorry, Mr. Miller. So yeah, so it's just a nice little curio. I just flicked through it when I was on the tram coming home. Then the other one, sorry about this, it's really humid today. It's just started raining, so I'm getting the vapours. So another one I got, again more out of curiosity, but I do like the artist and the writer, and it's they're doing a series of one shots every month, focusing on surprise from DC. Focusing on Batman's villains. So this is Batman One Bad Day, and this one focuses on the Riddler, and it's by Tom King and Mitch Gerads. And I like Tom King as a writer, but when he teams up with Mitch Gerads, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to buy it, whatever it's about, because he's just a great artist, and he seems to bring out the best in each other. So yeah, it's 64 pages I think, and it's $7.99. Great cover. I've not read it yet, but like I said, I'm getting a bit oversaturated with Batman now. I'm going to be stopping a few Bat titles like Catwoman. I'm going to stop tying Batman, because again they're bringing out more. So bringing out Robin, etc. Fortunately, in November, at least DC are going to start doing a few new series that aren't Bat related, like they're doing JSA, Blue Beetle miniseries is coming out. What was the other one? Wildcats, and there's a few others. So hopefully they carry on with that, but they bring out more Batman, like Mark Silvestri's doing. So yeah, it's great, but tame it down a bit, DC. Getting a bit fatigued. Pardon me. Now this one came out a few weeks ago, but I didn't really think about it, and then I saw it reviewed on Pop Culture Philosophers, and it looked really good. It's my kind of thing. Because I thought it's just going to be a novelty book, but It's done by a Brazilian writer and artist called Chris Tex, and the colorist is another Brazilian artist called Santos, and it's Samurai Doggy. It's $4.99. So initially I thought I'm not going to buy it, but then I realised it's 48 pages, so can't say no to that. So the artwork's really, really good. You can tell he's comes from an animation and filmmaking background. So it's got a nice futuristic cyberpunk feel, but with like a samurai element thrown in. So I guess in a way it's a bit like the Usagi Yojimbo series from a number of years ago, which had a science fiction theme. But it is its own creation as well at the same time. But it's worth it for the artwork alone. So yeah, got to give it a try. It's a nice, sturdy, really good quality hardcover, card cover. Really good quality paper. It's not like Marvel's rubbish, flimsy stuff. So yeah, pleased with that. See how that goes. Then I got Duo. Not read this yet, but I'm a big fan of Milestone. Love everything that they do. Always been a fan since the 90s. And this is great. It's written by Greg Pak, and this focuses on an Asian. But in Britain, we classify Asian as being more like in the provinces of India, Pakistan, etc. Whereas this is East Asia, where it's China, Korea, etc. So it's a Korean doctor and his wife, and something happens to them. I don't want to give it away because you need to read it. It's good, and they become this super being. And it's got things like not body horror, but kind of like body horror, but it's more of a science fiction bent. And it questions things like identity, what's good and what's evil. What would you do to say, where's the moral line what you can cross when you're looking to save humanity? Are you saving humanity? Are you playing God? And are you going to make the outcome worse? So yeah, it brings a lot of interesting ideas. Nice art, good story, worth getting. Duo. I think this is number 4. I think it's 6-issue series. Milestone nowadays, the new version of Milestone, doing blocks of series that what they call seasons, which is good. It means you can think, oh, just stop there, or you can wait for the trade paperback to come out, or get the second season. But yeah, I'm carrying on. I do like Milestone. I'm really impressed with what they're doing. And then Batman the Knight by Chip Zdarsky and Domenico. I think I've really messed that up, but yeah. So this is again Batman again, and it's a 10-issue series going on about the history of the beginnings of Batman, his origin story. I mean, we've had quite a number of origin stories. We've had Batman Year One. We've had ones in Legends of the Dark Knight, but Chip. Initially, the first few issues, I thought it was treading water, but it's been like a roller coaster, been going up, and now it's going, so it's shooting down now. And he's bringing new elements, fresh elements to the origin story of Batman, and it is really interesting to read. Artwork is amazing. Artwork is fantastic. Like the last issue dealt with Batman, how Batman first gets exposed to magic, which is something that I don't think any other writers ever confronted before when they talk about his formative years. But the artwork is gorgeous. Like I said, initially, the first few issues I was debating whether to cancel it. But like I said, it picked up steam around about issue 4, and it's had me enjoying it ever since. And it's a really good take on Batman. So yeah, it's on issue 8 now, so there's 2 more issues to go. It will be collected because it's Batman. They always get collected. And then Harley. I love this cover. I think it's by John Boy Mayers. So at the moment, they're celebrating Harley's 30th anniversary. So they're doing like a weekly story. So Riley Rossmo unfortunately has left because he's doing Robin when it comes out. Tim Drake. So they got. So it's basically Harley in space. So the guest stars set them up to George Duarte and Simone Bronfantino. So they're good. I mean, they're not Riley Rosmo, but like I said, it's only for 4 issues, and then a new artist is coming on after that. The name escapes me at the moment. Who looks really good, but at the end of the day, yeah, I loved Riley Rosmo on it. For him and Stephanie Phillips were amazing together. But I really dig Stephanie Phillips' writing on this. I've never really been a big fan of Harley before, but she's made me really enjoy and love Harley. She just nails it. So yeah, highly recommended. Harley Quinn, good fun comic. It's like a nice palate cleanser after you've read something quite deep and gritty and grim. Another one that's like that, which is a good palate cleanser, is Nightwing. Fortunately, oh no, is he on? Let's have a look. I've not read this one yet, so yeah, no, Bruno Redondo is on here. So yeah, this is from Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo. And it's just one of the most constantly enjoyable comics on the stand at the moment. I've always liked Nightwing. Back in the day, from Chuck Dixon's period before he became what he is now. If you want to know about Chuck Dixon and his beliefs, just Google it. Just put Chuck Dixon comic skates, and then you'll see why he went. I don't know what it is. Bitter old man. But anyway, but I can't. Not his early stuff was good, so what can you do? But yeah, Tom Taylor gives a completely. I mean, he comes from a completely different political spectrum to Chuck Dixon, and it's a breath of fresh air. He's really made Nightwing fun. It's like if Daredevil got exposed to sunlight and learned to smile a bit. That's what it's like. It's just good fun. The artwork as well is so kinetic and dynamic, and it's just really nice. It's a perfect package. One of the top mainstream comics available at the moment. Really, really recommend it. If you've not bought it, buy the books. There's going to be, I think there's 2 books out already, and there's a third one on the way. And then there's Catwoman. Good, but I am going to let this go. I've enjoyed it. But it's one of those where it's just like, yeah, it's enjoyable, but do I need it? Would I read it again? And answer is no. Reason being, there's going to be a new Tim Drake, and Riley Rossmo's doing the artwork, so I'm going to get Tim Drake Robin. And Jeff Johns. I know some people don't like Jeff Johns now, but I'm fed up with all the... I mean, I'm very, very left-wing, etc., but I think cancel culture can be quite dangerous, to be honest. I think once you start down that route, you're going to just be cancelling everybody who you don't agree with. So, I don't know. And people are punishing people for things that they said years and years and years ago, and even if they've made amends about it, and I think we need to let the past go, and just let people get on, prove themselves. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, and Jeff Johns is coming on JSA. God, that went off in a wild tangent. So I've got to make room for that. I'm going to get the Wildcats one because I'm a big Wildcats fan. 90s kid. No, well, I wasn't. So I was in my 20s then. But I can lie. Plus, the original artist who really made me buy it isn't on it anymore. So I've just got to let it go. It was fun. It was a fun ride, but I won't miss it. If you want to get a good Catwoman comic, get the Black Label Catwoman one by Jim Chung, wasn't it? I think. Yeah, the guy who did Paper Girls. So good. It's Catwoman, which is about 50s, late 50s, early 60s. And then there's X-Force by Benjamin Percy. I'm enjoying this comic. Now, I've been up and down with the X-Men recently. I enjoyed Hoxpox, House of X, and then Powers of X, and the whole Hickman run. But then when he left, it's like the current creators didn't know what to do, and they're just kind of like flogging the dead horse of Krakoa now, and now they brought in the Axe storyline, and I've tried it, and oh my god, it's so verbose and draggy and slow. People like Kieran Gillen. I love Kieran Gillen on his independent stuff, but I don't like him on mainstream. No. So I've stopped a lot of the X-Men. The only ones I get now is X-Force, Wolverine, and Legion of X, because I think Suspiria is a very underrated and very good writer, and he does Legion of X. But Benjamin Percy does X-Force and Wolverine. And what I like about the X-Force, Wolverine, and Legion of X, even though they're saying the Judgment Day crossovers, I can't see how they're tying in. It's very minimal if it is a crossover, and that's what I love about it. They're basically sticking two fingers up at what's going on with the rest of the comics and just doing their own thing, and it's good fun. And I've got the Flash. Now, this is how you do a tie-in. This was so much fun. I love Jeff Johns' run. I really enjoyed Mark Waid's run. Josh Williamson, I was asked to look for that because I was on Digital Comics then. Sorry. I talk too fast sometimes, so I need to elucidate. So I kind of missed that run. I will get it eventually in trade paperback. And enjoyed Francis Manapul when the New 52 first came out. And this one by Jeremy Adams. It is Jeremy Adams. When you get to my age, you've got to check. Yeah, Jeremy Adams doing the writing. And an artist I've never heard of before. Amanse Nehulpan. I think. He's doing the artwork. That's the only thing that bugs me with The Flash. I love the writing. The writing is great. The story, that cover is amazing. I think it's Travis Charest, yeah. He's just a megastar artist. And it's a great tie into Dark Crisis because I'm not bothering to talk Dark Crisis. I'll get the book most likely, but what I like about how DC are doing their events compared to Marvel's, it's much more self-contained. This is like the only really tie-in, but it's not. You don't need to read the book, the Dark Crisis book, to enjoy it. And I've loved it. It's been so much fun. But yeah, the only bugbear I've got is that the need to get an ongoing artist, because I can never remember who's doing the art for The Flash. It seems to change from issue to issue. I think that's the case with a lot of Marvel and DC comics now. They're focusing more on the writer and not enough on the artist, whereas back in the day it used to be equal level pegging. Like for example with Preacher, I bought it not just because it was Garth Ennis writing it, but because he had amazing art by Steve Dillon. So he had the two together, and that was the thing that made it a complete whole. And unfortunately, that's why I like Nightwing, because the majority of the time it's Bruno Redondo art on the artwork with Tom Taylor doing the writing, and so that's what makes you enjoy it, because it's that team working together so well, like the one person. And you don't get that with a lot of comics. So a lot of comics are staggered because it's a different artist each issue. And they're putting too much So a lot of artists now, like on the X-Men, I didn't even realise sometimes it's a different artist because they've got such a house style now. And they're just making artists interchangeable and not important in a way. It wouldn't surprise me if in another few years that they're just starting using computer-generated art created by an AI. And cut out the middleman. I hope they don't, but there we go. And the last one I got, another Marvel comic. I don't get that many Marvel now. Sorry about that. Really, really snotty today because of hay fever. I don't get that many Marvel now, so I get about 8, 6, 7, something like that. But one I'll continue always getting is Captain Marvel, especially while Kelly Thompson is writing it. This is my Marvel's, to me, it's the same kind of feel I get from reading Harley Quinn and Nightwing. It's just fun. It's just, she's got such a handle on Captain Marvel that if she left, I wouldn't want to read it. Oh, sorry, jumping back to the X-Men tab. So the only other X-Men one I do get, again, it's like Captain Marvel. It's a series I've always loved, and it's New Mutants. I really enjoy that. Vita Ayala, I think, is the writer, but I think it's Charlie Jane Anders is coming on for a few issues as a sci-fi writer, novelist, and then Vita Ayala's coming back. So I don't know how I feel about I like to have a steady writer all the way through, but it could be good. But yeah, that's the only X-Men I want to get. I'm going on tangents today. I need to get a script when I do this. And that's nothing to do with what I was saying about Captain Marvel. So again, tangents. disconnected tangents. Never look in my brain. It's not a safe place. It's scary. It's chaos. My head is chaos. So that's the last one I got. Ow! That's the last one I got this week. I normally get my new comics. They normally come from a letterbox on a Saturday. I get them online because it's just cheap. You get a discount if you get a certain amount, so it makes sense to. Especially in the UK, they've increased the prices of a lot of comics in shops, so I just can't afford to get it in a physical shop. But I still support my local comic shops. Go there to buy my books, my graphic novels, and back issues. So yeah, that's an important message, kids. Support your local comic shops. Support online retailers if you can't get to a shop, and try and support smaller companies instead of bigger companies, because they're trying to make a living, and we need to support them, because I miss the days of small independent bookshops, what used to be prevalent in the 80s and 90s, and sadly it's all in the UK, all Waterstones and Amazon for Comics Forbidden Planet. Okay, well, thank you, and I hope it's not been boring. I hope I've not scared you with my snotty voice and sneezing, etc. And I should hopefully put another video up soon. I was going to do one about this book, but I was looking for which I got on eBay for a really good deal. Normally it retails for about £50 or £60. I got it for about £12, and it basically deals with the 70s and up to the mid 80s DC. And it's got brilliant interviews and overviews of that whole time period. Got some amazing artwork, like Walt Simonson on Manhunter, some brilliant Neil Adams pictures, Swamp Thing, etc. So, recommend it, but I'm not going to do an overview because it's just too big, and I'd waffle for hours. It'd be like a 5-parter if I did it, because it's gigantic, huge, and heavy. I've got really wimpy arms. I have no muscle, no muscle definition anywhere. Okay, well, but I do recommend it. Look on eBay, look on Amazon, or wherever you shop, and it's Taschen, Bronze Age of DC Comics, and it's so good. Remember the Marvel one I mentioned ages ago, what I got from Taschen, which was a smaller format one. It's better than that, so I do recommend it. Anyway, I'm waffling, so I'm going to go. Bye.